Cheers!
Welcome to Movie Bitches. RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars 5, Episode 7.
Penultimate.
We're almost there. Right? It's crazy. It was quick.
I was worried when we saw that.
I was worried too. I don't know entirely what that means, but we know that there's only one episode. Anyway, first things first, this week we are spotlighting the Black AIDS Institute. The Black AIDS Institute is revolutionizing the HIV service industry to center and uplift Black experiences to allow Black people to live their fullest, healthiest lives with dignity, care, and respect. There's a link down below. You can click on that, go follow them, donate, support them, share, all of those good things.
Share your time and your enthusiasm.
I'm sorry, your what?
Your town!
Town!
Share that town!
There's a town for us. Third things third, shout out to our wine sponsor, Wink. Go to trywink.com/moviebitches. You get $22 off your first month of wine. I'm doing a white today.
I'm having tea.
That's nice.
It's scalding.
Spill the tea. Oh my god. Oh!
This tea is so hot. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, Avaryl.
Thank you to our Patreon supporters. $5 a month or more gets you early access. $10 a month or more gets you access to our view. I'm sorry, 10 valued money of your choice. What do we call it?
10 of your valued money.
Yes, 10 of your valued money a month or more gets you access to our viewing parties. I don't know what curse you have transferred over to me.
What happened?
My phone is literally just like, no, I hate Untucked. Not doing it.
Is there like a frequency and is Matthew McConaughey Morse coding your phone and saying, hey, this is boring, turn it off?
I don't know. I don't know what it is, but my phone hates Untucked.
Your phone hates Untucked, yeah. So yes, the episode starts. Miss Cracker has won, and Alexis. They really have to fix this because I don't.
They have to get rid of all of this.
Alexis.
I do wish they had said Alexis, but no, sadly no.
No, there are some changes that need to be made to the format of this show. Let's just say that and move on.
Oh my god, but then when they're reading Alexis's lipstick message, be happy ass. What? Oh, that's a 5.
Be happy.
Happy.
Ass. Oh, and
Be happy ass.
Be happy ass.
Rue comes into the workroom and announces that it's a stand-up comedy smackdown this week.
Right.
Which is scary. That's a scary challenge. I think that's probably the worst.
It's
scariest.
Yeah, like, ooh, that's like really tough, right? Because stand-up is a specific thing that's not entirely what drag queens do, right?
And it's a specific thing that takes anyone years to be decent at. So
absolutely.
We find out that because Miss Cracker won last week, she gets to pick the order of things. Now, I am liking upfront, pragmatic Cracker.
girl, I could pretend that I don't know what I'm doing, and I'm just like trying to decide, but I immediately knew what I want to do.
When she was just like,
I thought this was hilarious.
Right?
I want to start by saying that everyone can shine no matter where they are in the show. But I want to try to fuck you guys up as much as possible.
Understandable.
Fully realize that we're all friends, but this is also a game, so my plan is to fuck you over as much as I can. And now I'm going to, one by one, completely explain why I fucked you. Enjoy. I was like, yeah, great. I mean, you're being honest about it. What are you going to do?
Yep.
And she really did get into their heads. I was like, you know what?
I mean, I guess so, yeah.
To a certain extent. They were all like, oh, shit, that is kind of, like, they took her narrative of what that slot meant.
Right.
And was like, oh, no. And then, luckily, Jane Krakowski was like, no, girl, you got this. For the most part. I thought she was a good judge.
I thought she was pretty good. Well, we'll talk about it when we get there.
Okay. We're there.
Oh.
We'll talk about it now.
Well, I thought this was funny that, like they all turned the corner because it was a mysterious comedy.
Yeah. They do say a mystery funny lady, and I said, who cares if it's a mystery, I guess.
Because they wanted them all to have this reaction of, oh my God!
Hello.
Hello, Cracker!
They really need to stroke Jane Krakowski's ego, I guess.
I guess so. I mean, I did like Miss Cracker's, like, this is where they're going to cut to me talking about how much I love you.
This is one of those times they do like a special cutaway to where I talk about how much I love you. I love Jane Krakowski.
I'm really enjoying that Cracker is being very meta about all of this. She keeps giving them advice on how to make the show better with her own edit, and they don't take it. But they do show her talking about it. So there's that.
Sure. I mean, they did cut to her talking about how much she loves Jane Krakowski.
They did. On this occasion, they did. Well, and first up is Jujubee, and she comes out, and immediately Jane is like, no, the first slot can be a great slot because there's no one to compare you to. You know, if you make a similar joke, you're the one that did it first, no matter what. So, and Juju's like, oh, you're right. Wait, that's a great way to look at this. I thought on a whole, Jane was helpful, and Ross basically repeated what she said, but at least they weren't rude and dismissive. Like, they weren't like, you're terrible. I mean, they didn't do Blair any favors, but like, there's been times in the past where Ross has judged the same basic thing, and I've been like, but Jane seemed to calm him down and focus him. I don't know.
Sure. Oh my God, there was a certain point when he was talking, I think it was about Shay, and she just has this like look to camera, basically, that's just like, no, but I think the thing that frustrated me was that they didn't seem to understand Jujubee's humor.
I'm 35, single, emotionally unavailable. The type of guy I'm really attracted to is the kind that'll steal my money and help me look for it.
And for Jane, that's more understandable, right? Because maybe she doesn't follow her on Instagram. Mistake. But like, Ross knows Jujubee and Jujubee's humor, etc. So like, the jokes that I thought Jujubee was presenting, she wasn't delivering them well, right? She was just in like rehearsal, it's a read through, this is the joke. But when she actually would have delivered them, I think they would have been funnier. And instead they were like, no, don't do that. No, don't do that. Don't do that.
Yeah, and well, what was weird was they were laughing, but they were like, we don't think you're funny. And I was like, but you're, what?
It was all part of one joke.
I know. I don't know if it's working or not, but I'm laughing.
Is that too much, or was it not enough, or?
I don't know that I can.
Yeah, they definitely could have encouraged her to tell her tales, let's say.
Yes. I think because it was just such the night and day with Blair, where they were like, oh my God, you have so much material. You're hilarious. You're the funniest thing to ever walk through this door.
It's the most beautiful Instagram feed I've ever seen. I didn't know you could take such beautiful photographs.
I follow you on Instagram. Can anyone take a more beautiful picture? I was like, what is going on?
Ross Matthews.
Careful.
And I know.
No, I'm kidding.
This is out of
No,
this
go
is
there.
out of love.
I'm just kidding. Go there.
She was really going in on Ross, and Ross was like, be careful, but also, no, it's totally cool. Make fun of me, but also don't you dare make fun. I was like, what's happening?
Ross Matthews is so gay.
How gay is he?
Only thing higher than his voice is his estrogen level.
This is good.
Thanks.
Yeah, I didn't laugh. I'm glad she, I guess, didn't use any of the jokes, seemingly, that they showed in rehearsal. Because, like, the Ross is so gay, he has high estrogen levels joke was not good to me. The only thing higher than his voice was his estrogen
levels.
But that's...
You know. I didn't laugh a ton this whole episode. I mean, there was humorous things, but I was not, like, cackling about anything, really.
I feel like I actually laughed more at the Shantae Yurd stay.
Yeah. Well, there's more room to kind of play off each other with that. There's, like, props and things to do. I was actually surprised. Everyone kind of did the same thing. It was like a roast more than stand-up. It was... no one did a character. No one did a big, weird art piece. Like what was the last season? 12? Yeah. With like the, do a comedy act, basically, with Whoopi. Like, people did so many different things. It was more interesting. Where this was more just, like, an extended library, let's say. I think they would have behooved some of them to do characters or tell a story or do something a little structurally different.
Yes, and that's where I guess for me, again, I thought that the guidance from the judges would have been helpful.
Sure. Well, it was weird too that Jane literally is like,
I think there's nothing more frightening than having to stand in front of a mic and just bare your soul and hopefully be funny and make up jokes.
stand-up must be the hardest thing ever to do. Like, she clearly never did stand-up, so it was also like, well, you're a funny lady. That's a different thing. She was she was encouraging and lovely, but also that's like a completely different thing for you to be giving advice on. But whatever.
Yeah. Where's Sarah Silverman?
Can you imagine?
I mean,
so
yes.
good. It'd be
Yeah.
so good.
Or Kathy Griffin, or what? You like someone
Yeah.
who's a comedian, like
I think Jane
a
Krakowski
stand-up comedian,
a stand-up, who's someone who can stand up.
Yes, a stand-up comedian.
So yeah, they really inflated Blair's head to her great detriment. Although I don't know how great she would have done regardless, but she was really on a high, let's say.
Yes.
And next out is Ms. Cracker. And again, she starts very cerebral. I'm going to do a TED Talk and I'm doing this and whatever, blah, blah. And they were like,
What I want you to know about drag is that it is anybody who feels like there is no such thing as
I'm gonna stop you right there, though.
What she ended up with was funny, but...
Yeah, well, I mean, I thought, as someone said it at a certain point, I think Blair said, like, oh, when I was watching her, and she was like, she's at a show.
She's Miss Cracker doing a show. I wish I had been Blair doing my show.
Doing
kind
it,
of thing.
exactly. And I was like, yes, that's entirely the point.
I think they all got, like, the roast notes or something. It was like a
Or
pseudo
something.
Ross Matthews roast.
It was.
Which wasn't, like, the point, I didn't think. But, you know, what are you going to do? They got her kind of in a better direction, let's say. And the next up is Shea Coulee. And I have to say, the thing I laughed the hardest at this whole episode was when she was talking about how her favorite color is fluorescent beige.
Oh my God, right?
Really got me.
I'm an Aquarius. My favorite color is fluorescent beige, and I love long, romantic walks to the bank.
I'm an Aquarius, I'm this, I'm that. I was like, I'm into this. And then they were like, no.
Yeah.
It was the most personal. It was like, I kind of got into it, somewhat.
Well, it seems like, though, from what she said at least, that they urged her to rework her show, and I think it paid off the best for her.
Oh yeah, it worked out. But I was not mad at her opening statements. That made me laugh.
Sure, I laughed too. So, quick commercial break, and we will be back with the... It was not a roast. I wanted to say roast, you're right, but no, it wasn't. It was just the comedy chef? What did they call it?
It was something, it was a reference to an actual comedy club, but it was, you know, they said a comedy smackdown.
Face off in a stand-up comedy smackdown.
I guess it was supposed to be sort of reading. If it's
Right, like a smackdown amongst all of the people there?
I don't know. So everybody walks into the workroom. Miss Cracker's really dedicated to this pink fur coat.
Yeah, I think she could leave that one.
Be less dedicated to it.
Yeah, be less dedicated.
And, oh my God, Juju's smelling her nylon. Are these mine?
Oh yeah, they're mine.
Yeah, they're definitely mine. Yep.
Oh my God, this was like the body smell episode, right? Because there's like Juju be sniffing her nylons, and then Shay just like all burpy and like, oh my God, my stomach's in knots.
I took a bunch of Tums and she was really going through it, steaming. She was right to wear that dress though, girl. We'll talk about it.
Oh, very smart.
If my comedy is not going to be that good, I might as well look drop dead gorgeous.
And Blair's just like, they thought I was so funny. They gave me all the compliments. I wrote every joke in the book. Oh my God. And
oh my God, they loved me. They couldn't stop laughing. I have too much material.
I mean, yeah. Bitch. So, Ru comes down the runway looking like a diner booth, but a pretty one. I liked it.
it was very 80s. It was very, you know, Alexis Carrington, boardroom.
Oh my God.
Tonight.
This wig.
The wig, this big teal poofed one shot. I liked it. I liked
it. It was simple, which was kind of nice for Ru, that it's not like, and then it was, I mean, I guess she had this giant blue thing.
It's like a huge teal tumor, but then like a black pencil dress,
yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
I wasn't mad at it. Jane Krakowski with laryngitis is our guest judge. And Sam Richardson, who he's like from Veep and stuff. He like shows up in things. He's the guy from, he's like the fiance in Mike and Dave Need Wedding Dates. Was that the name of that movie?
Oh, that was the name.
He's that guy.
Cool.
He shows up and stuff.
I vaguely remember that movie. And first up is Jujubee kicking things off to a little bit of a rocky start, it seemed. I was surprised they didn't mention... Michelle seemed to react very strongly, as I think is fair, to Juju's joke about her augmented boobs. And I was like, well, they're not anymore, girls. So like, ooh. But...
I guess it was like she had work done. It just was, you know, in reverse than usual or whatever the fuck. Like, you know what I mean?
It was work and then unworked. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I see some new old faces. Work. Lots and lots and lots of work. Shay, your lips. Michelle, your titties.
New faces, old new faces, you know, that kind of thing. But, you know, people, the judges seemed salty in general and not interested in being made fun of.
Yes.
And yet that was, I guess, the challenge? Question mark? I don't know.
Or, I don't know either, but if it wasn't, that was seemingly a lot of the guidance from Ross. So, like, complain to him.
She did. She tore him a new one about his book. Oh, Gwyneth wrote the foreword.
Isn't it upsetting that the lady who could convince millions of women out there to stick stones in their pussy still not be able to convince them to buy your book?
That was weird. I wouldn't have expected that.
I know, right? I was like, I thought she was making shit up about this book. I was like really kind of surprised.
I mean, to be honest, I did not look. It could be a lie, but I assumed it was true.
I assumed it was true by the reactions, but yeah.
I did like her joke about Michelle. Well, we all know this isn't RuPaul's best friend race. Michelle already won that one. Michelle was like, yeah, I did, girl. Yeah. I was like, okay, now we're just being friends.
I don't need a lot of the roasting of the judges because I feel like we've already heard that. Yes. You know?
Mm-hmm. Well, and it always seems a little, you know, like, don't go too far. It's like,
well, exactly.
It's always a little bit like, nervous making.
Yes. Well, Blair's was evidence of that.
Speaking of, up next, Blair St. Clair. Hold on, I'm going to turn the page.
Just like Blair.
It was really interesting who was on and off book. I thought
yes,
it really helped to be off book, obviously. I was surprised Juju, and Juju even says like, oh, I wish I had just fucking, you know, gone with it or whatever. I think she would have succeeded more and just kind of had more fun with it, been off the cuff. But Blair really, this was, I mean, later she explains because she had different nails on and she couldn't physically turn the page, but when she had like the punchline on a separate page, like, oh girl, it was so embarrassing.
Oh, I do declare this is a dumpster fire.
Yes, it was. And I guess what I just don't understand is that she wrote these jokes. We are to believe. You shouldn't need to flip the page to remember the punchline to the joke that you wrote.
I think she choked.
Sure.
And no one was laughing. I mean, when that death stare Jane Krakowski gave her, she keeps escaping from the old folks' home.
I just can't understand how you keep escaping from the old folks' home.
Struck a nerve.
You're right. I mean, definitely the audience and the judges were like not having it and they were not in a mood to play. And I think that is frustrating because like it can make such a difference. But I guess the jokes have to be funny too.
That helps. Oh, right. She went rather blue when she was talking about crusty assholes.
But I am a grown gay man and I do eat ass with the crust cut off.
Hey. Yeah, it was, what was the joke? Like, oh, everyone thinks I look 16, but I am a grown man. I do rim. Or something like that.
Well, she didn't say rim.
I do eat ass?
I eat ass without the crust or something, because I don't know, it was like a pizza, no crust. No, without the sandwich, no crust.
Like a sandwich?
Something about no crust.
Like a child?
I don't know. Maybe that's a long walk. But okay, now I'm there.
But then I didn't understand too, like the crusty butt. I don't need to go there.
You don't need to go there. That's fine.
On one hand, I was like, yes, I like this, right? Like, yes, obviously Blair looks young. If you went to go see her at a drag show at a bar and whatever, like, we're all adults here. So, like, that's kind of fun to have it be, like, raunchy coming from this person that looks like a 16-year-old child. But it wasn't very well done. And then again, it was like, now I'm going to turn it into a read of the judges. So, speaking of crusty assholes, here's...
Now, speaking of crusty assholes, Sam Richardson is here tonight, everyone. That's all.
And I'm just like, you don't even know him.
Oh, right. She
a lot.
She said Sam Richardson had a crusty asshole. That's right. He was more shocked that he was like,
Okay. He seemed to be more like down to clown though. Like he wasn't angry about it.
He wasn't mad. He just seemed sort of perplexed and like, I was not expecting to be told I had a crusty asshole today. Okay, great. Anyway.
on national television.
This was pretty much a flatline, and it was awkward because of the page turning. It really didn't help. Like, really, there's just this dead air, and it was like, ugh. But she went out there and she tried, and she talked about crusty assholes. So, kudos to you for that moment in time.
Now, speaking of crusty assholes, Sam Richardson is here tonight, everyone.
So then next we had Miss Cracker, who did a very good job, unsurprisingly, but I guess there was a lot of pressure for her.
Oh my goodness! Hello!
She came out with like so much energy, totally changed the tone of the room. It was just like, hey, she's talking about how she feels like she's in prison because the show doesn't let you talk. She's like, oh my God, there's people here, there's people.
They do not let you socialize like at all. Please help me.
I did like that she was sort of this like desperate, like, I haven't seen people in weeks.
Yeah, it was good. I'm a New Yorker, but the nice kind.
Because I was a chubby kid, I know what body shaming can do to a person. It works!
Look at me now! It was fun. Like, she was having fun with it, and she was off book, which was very important.
It really was important. It felt like a real glimpse into who she is and how she performs and what her shtick is and her comedy. And so I thought that was so much more relatable than like, here I am going to read this joke to you.
And hers flew by. Like, I was like, oh, it's over. It was so fast and fun and energetic. And before, Blair's seemed like an eternity. So it was really like...
I really enjoyed Shay's performance as well. I thought she came out, she did, she was like, how's everyone doing? Woo.
Oh, come on, you guys can do better than that. You had Miss Cracker's entire set to take a nap.
She got the crowd going, which is important to do.
And engaged with them.
Exactly. And she had fun jokes. I thought the Miss Cracker puppet, also kind of blue, right?
A little blue. She only really comes alive when you fist her,
She's got this big head and these tiny little feet, and only becomes animated when you put your fist in her.
Well, she comes out and it's Whitney Houston. I mean, I was like, oh my God.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, this wig.
So good.
And this red tulle layered. Oh, it was gorgeous. Shay is also off book, which was very helpful to her. Loved her Coming to America Rose Petals joke.
Rose Petals have been following me around for the past 3 years like I'm James Earl Jones in Coming to America. The only difference, he had a crown.
So yeah, on a whole, it was pretty good. There was some highlights, there were some lowlights.
Yeah, I don't know why this is what they picked. I guess better than Sex and the City 3. Real
kitty girl behind the scenes making of the band mockumentary.
So, quick commercial break, and we will be back with the runway category is Real Monsters. I was waiting for Ru to say that, but it wasn't. It was Freak Out.
But she said it so weird.
Freak Out.
Category is Freak Out. Like, she said it not like the song, and it was weird. And I was like, what?
Like, not like, Freak Out.
It took me a minute to be like, what? Oh, great. I
honestly thought it was going to be category is, Real Monsters.
I would have fucking loved that. They should do like a Nickelodeon themed runway.
Ooh,
I would be into that.
Ooh, who would be Olmec?
How would you couldn't fit through the through the opening in the runway.
I don't know.
Wouldn't work. Category is Aaaaah Freak Out. This was weird. Everybody went, not everybody, 3 out of 4, they all went 90s rave-ish. I mean, don't get me wrong. One was head and shoulders above the others, but it was odd that they kind of went to the same party, let's say. Particularly Blair and Shay. They were like at the same party with the same outfit. It was weird.
Yeah, they were like definitely at the same club. I guess it was confusing to me what exactly the brief that they were given was. Was it Club Kid Couture? Was it, you know...
I think it was what's a freak to you. I mean, you know, I think it was a wide array. Like, some people may have gone circus freak. Some people may have gone, you know, I think it was, how do you interpret this? So I actually kind of I wish they had done different things with it, but I think it was a kind of open-ended, do what you want to do.
Maybe. I guess I just didn't get the vibe from anyone that they were planning on a let your freak flag fly.
Oh, that would have been more fun.
In homage to Evie Oddly, yeah.
Oh, I was going to say also to, don't they talk about that in The Family Stone?
You have a freak flag. You just don't fly it.
Maybe. I just remember after they had to refilm when she said "eat a baby," then that was what she said when she won.
Fly your freak flag.
Was let your freak flag fly.
Well, that's
that's really hard to say.
Let your freak flag fly. That's from a Jimi Hendrix song. So.
Oh well, there you go.
I'm gonna wave my freak flag.
So first out, Jujubee, fucking love this. This Harlequin patchwork, Avaryl monsters. Chain-linked shrug thing, corseted to the nines, these huge fucking heels that are, you know, 2 different patterns. Somehow it all came together. It very well could have not, and it very much did.
Sure.
She's got this mask on. It was very Lee Bowery. It was very this. It was very that. I thought this was freak in, you know, like a Harlequin clown, but like fashion kind of way. This, for me, worked better than others.
Was that movie called Freak Show that we watched?
Yes.
So, yes. I guess in that sense, it was like, you know, freak show.
Yeah.
But not like circus freak show.
But there's a lot of kind of freaks. That's
old-timey.
You know.
I guess that's true.
Oh my god, and I loved her, like, stardust tears.
Yes.
I was obsessed. It looked so good, and it was very cool.
I thought she nailed this challenge. Like, the runway was everything.
Well, and she was like, you guys thought I wasn't going to bring it? Look at this. And they were all like, bitch, you brought it.
Juju, y'all challenged me, didn't you?
You look impeccable.
I know my look is bomb biggity, all right? My look is killer.
So the next was Blair St. Clair, and I didn't get this neon panther on the runway.
She said it was like a Cheshire cat that she was going for. I mean, the mask was all too triggering, I'll be honest. It's like, oh, what? The mouth. And anyway, she said something like I was going for like 90s rave Cheshire cat person. So like in that sense, I was like, yeah, but it wasn't my favorite.
I just didn't get like necessarily as clear of a picture from it for myself.
Well, when somehow with Juju's, you know, all of these different houndstooths and checkered and all of the things like went together, even though it was a lot of patterns. And with hers, the palette wasn't as pleasing to my eye aesthetically. It was polka dots and yellow, and then like a furry bikini with then like a rainbow shrug. It was less successful for me with like the
it was like
real,
a diaper.
Well, it was like a full bush. It was a shrub. It was a shrub. It was a lot. It was different. I wasn't obsessed with it.
Yes.
So then next down the runway, Ms. Cracker in this Spy versus Spy plague, you know, doctor mask.
Yeah.
Into whatever this was. It was real freaky and weird. She went freaky like, ooh, I'm scared. That's freaky, you know.
Sure. Yes. Oh, yeah.
And to reveal, you know, she becomes, you know, the enchantress, but it's Cher, and I was here for it.
Yeah, I warmed to this.
Okay.
At first I was like, ooh, and then I was like, ooh. And then I was like, why is she like a corpse, but then like that was the
She was freaky. She was freaking
right,
you
that
out.
was her intent.
She's got the two-toned eyes and then like tits out with like a swirly, whirly. I don't know. It was interesting and it was a different take on it. And her wig went down to her ankles. And I was like, yes, this is nuts.
Her wig was very like Samara, you know, it was like, ooh, what's this?
It was very Cher.
Well, yes, it was Cher, but not as luxurious as Cher. It was a little bit more Samara, like the ring girl.
Who has a more luxurious wig than Cher? Honestly.
Well, sure.
It always helps when you find a way, you know, whether it's just serendipity or whatever, to do something so different from everyone else. You really stand out. So it worked out for her, and it was definitely impactful. It turned the corner. I was like, holy shit, what's this?
Oh, yeah. Well, so, yeah, I mean, the mask was definitely triggering for these days. But, yeah.
A bunch of masks. Different masks. Yeah,
Yeah.
fake Dr. Mask. Yeah, yikes. Anyway, last on the runway, Shea Coulee did love this.
I liked parts of it. I thought the fit on her crotch was not good.
It looked like she was wearing Blair's outfit and then she like rolled down a hill and got, like she was like a messier version of Blair's outfit because it was still like a bodysuit with then like a bikini over it and it just looked like she partied too hard at the rave, you know? It was like late into the wee hours and she'd gotten a little too far into the party.
Yeah, maybe. I thought hers was cuter than Blair's. I thought it was like a little bit more chic. Maybe that's not the point. I don't know.
Chic. Le freak. What was it?
Exactly. Le freak, c'est chic.
Chic.
But I thought that hers was more aesthetically pleasing for me. However, I had issues with some of the fit.
I didn't really care for Blair or hers. I did like that she had googly eyes all over her giant blue furred platforms. I was like, yeah, into this.
The heels have eyes. I really like that.
The heels have eyes.
Well, then in the end, when the three of them were all hugging and saying, spoiler alert, saying goodbye to Blair, it was just like this rainbow platform group hug. It was like weird.
Yeah.
Like, how did they all get the same memo? What's going on? You know.
I mean, they did, literally, but...
But Miss Cracker wins, I think rightly so. I mean, Shea was up there. I think if Shea's runway had just been like, holy fucking shit, like maybe she would have won, but...
I would have given it to Jujubee, I was thinking, except the edit, at least, on her, like, everyone seemed to have come around at the end of her comedy challenge and really liked it.
Right.
But it definitely seemed a little rougher, at least in parts, than Cracker's was.
If we were just going on runway.
Shea's. Yeah, but going on runway, it was like, yes, Jujubee, all the way.
But anyway, Cracker wins. She now has
Absolutely.
the most wins, yeah?
Yeah.
So that's a pretty good place to be. The finale. Miss Cracker changes into this, you know, Nomi from Goddess dress. The koi fish strappy metal.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
I was like into that. It looked like she was going to strip and, you know, be on top of a volcano.
Right, but no.
It was very that.
Certainly not to this song. Kind of, maybe? Because the song is about stripping, right?
Is it? I zoned out. There were so many words. That no one knew. I mean, honestly, mistakes were made.
Those were a lot of words. Oh, I hadn't noticed. Did you notice that there were words?
But first, they kind of dance around the fact that everyone's sending Blair home.
It was fairly obvious. She hadn't won a challenge, you know.
Exactly. So I think, you know, out of fairness, there was only one option. Again, like, this whole conversation was just so depressing, where they're all so sad and, like, frustrated, and they're like, well, this decision sucks so much. Why are we doing this? And you're like, it's a great question.
Yeah, it was a real bummer. I was not interested in it.
So moving on, the lip sync assassin.
Lip sync assassin.
We find out that it's Kennedy Davenport. I was excited to see her.
Yes, absolutely.
Didn't work out very well, but it was exciting nonetheless.
Yes, I was so excited to see her. This is gonna be a good lip sync. Ms. Cracker, good luck, girl. I love she's like, oh, well, I'm just gonna leave now. I'm just walking off the stage.
Yeah. Okay. Bye. Well, I was thinking if Cracker hadn't won, would that $20,000 tip have gone to the total? I think it was kind of like, just give it to her because
Yeah.
Otherwise, we have to deal with this money.
Right, yeah. Oh, the $20,000 will roll over to when we split it between Shay and Jujubee. I don't know.
Yes! Between Jujubee. But yes, Kennedy Davenport comes out in this red and black jumpsuit with this cape that she will learn to regret. And and they have to lip sync to Fancy by Reba McEntire. It was a mistake. There's so many other fun, more like kind of upbeat Reba songs. I don't know. I mean, no shade to this song. It just is not a good lip sync song unless you've lip synced it, and then even then, it was weird. There was numerous conversations about, girl, I'm glad I don't have to sing that one.
Well, at least I don't have to do that lip sync.
I hate your stupid ass.
And then at the end of the lip sync, when it was like lackluster, and Rue was like, well, I don't know words in that song, huh? And they were like, fuck yeah, this is it. What are we doing?
Right? Who fucking picked it?
For the final lip sync? I mean, like, you know,
right?
One of the final ones. What?
And for me, it was such a waste of Kennedy Davenport.
Such a waste. Come on, can't you give me some Little Kim or something? It was like very bad.
God damn, you couldn't give me a Little Kim song?
It was very bad. I did not understand this choice. And it's not like it had anything to do with the challenge or the episode or
Reba wasn't
anything.
a guest judge, you know.
I would have preferred them to lip sync to My Muffin Top Is All That, to be honest.
Yeah.
My muffin top is all that, whole grain, low fat.
But yeah, most of the lip sync I spent just saying, wait, does Miss Cracker not know the words? Wait, does Kennedy not know the words? Wait, does no one know the words? And then at some point they cut to Blair, and I was like, wait, Blair knows the words more than...
Because she thought she was going to win.
What's happening? And Kennedy keeps stepping on her cape and getting tangled up, and it was like this level the whole time for both of them, and they both struggled, and it was not great.
Not great.
Well, I think during the lip sync there was a few cutaways to the judges being like, just like generally confused and like, oh, but Cracker wins and sends Blair home. It was the right choice. They have a rainbow platformed group hug. And, you know, she says farewell. And, you know, she's cold and it's a secret again. So Blair goes home, and then, you know, the top three, and Rue announces that she wants our fan vote, even though it's just so obvious at this point that they just film them all and then just shove whichever one in they want. It was at this point that I noticed the phone that was on the desk and was like, why is that phone on the desk? That's so weird. Oh, the phone is ringing. Oh, now Rue's taking some sort of like kidnap phone call? This like desperate, what do you mean? Right now? Oh my God.
Okay, all right.
Okay,
it's the grand finale.
Next week? Really? I was like, what's happening?
Next week? But it's the grand finale. All right. If you must.
It seems like it was all a fake out. We already saw that they all come back for drama. Like to just be like, we're here.
Right, which they did last season and whatever.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, maybe, at this point, I think it's too late. Like, what are you going to do? Be like, oh, sorry, Blair, we're bringing back Alexis Mateo? Like, that seems odd. You know what I mean?
Sorry, everyone, we're crowning Mariah.
I mean,
that's the only acceptable choice. The only acceptable choice. We'll find out, I guess. But my feeling is that it was just a weird, funny thing. Anyway, this week on Untucked, it was kind of exciting. We got to see them de-drag and then re-drag as part of Untucked.
Yeah.
Wasn't mad at
30 minutes?
To change. Yeah, crazy, right?
I was like, that's crazy.
You gotta pre-prep and let your makeup cook, you know, ahead of time.
Right? I was like, they're changing their makeup. It was like, that's crazy.
Yeah. But I did love that Juju was like, Blair, you should change your name to Paige Turner.
Who changed your drag name to Paige Turner?
No, I know her.
I know like 3 of them.
I did love when Juju and Shay were speculating, like, well, who do we think the lip sync assassin is going to be? And they both...
I hope it's
Pandora
Tammy Brown.
box.
Ow,
Wait, did you say Tammy Brown?
Yes.
And then they're like, no, but for real, though, we would love to see that.
Love that.
Like, ha ha ha. No, but we're serious.
I don't think that Tammy Brown is coming back to this show ever.
No.
Oh, Oh shoot, I never did that. Did you see those the video that was going around of like, you know, they recreated by 3D printing the mummy's like larynx, and they like were able to recreate a single sound.
No, but in my mind, when you said that sentence, I went to The Mummy 1999 and was like, what do you mean?
Oh.
Like the actor, and then when they did the sand and his mouth opened, and why would they need to recreate that? But you meant an actual mummy. Great. Okay, great.
An actual mummy. They were like using like 3D scanning and 3D printing. They were able to recreate their vocal cords and produce a single sound. And then so the joke on the internet was just that it was like, you know, different sounds. But I meant to do
Scientists were able to mimic Nessie Amun's voice by recreating his mouth and vocal cords with a 3D printer. It allowed them to produce a single sound.
I didn't know if it would read to anyone other than like us, but you know.
That's dumb. I like it. And then we get a very tearful alleyway conversation between. Was just like sad. Juju and Shay are off by the, you know, Star Wars trailers or whatever, Star Wagons, you know.
Yeah.
And are just completely a mess, crying, upset that they had to vote off Blair, who they really respect and like, but that it sucks. And what am I going to do? And now I seem like a fake person because I'm being nice. Like, they need to change it, and that's the last thing I'll say about it.
Absolutely.
We can't keep talking about it, except that it's horrible. But anyway, I'm excited about this top 3. I'm excited for Shujubee. I mean, honestly, if any of them win, I'll be, you know, I'm not going to be mad about it, but I am obviously team Shujubee.
Yes.
Because
for me, I really can't decide between them because they're so polished at what they do, but they each bring a different aspect of drag, right? Yeah. They're not really overlapping.
They're not in the same category. Yeah.
Exactly. So it's just like, well, I think they've both done so well, although I guess Miss Cracker has done the best of all of them.
That's true. I mean, I'm not trying to discount her. I do think she has done a great job, and she is really fun and funny and like a fabulous queen.
Absolutely.
But, you know, I'm
personal
biased.
preference.
I'm biased. There you go.
Yes, I am biased. So yeah, you know, overall, it was a fun episode, and I'm not surprised, but I'm very pleased with the...
What's that? What's that? Next week? But that's the finale! I don't understand. Well, yes, we believe in you. Yes, absolutely. We'll see you there. I said no!
Well, that certainly sounds mysterious.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Scientists were able to mimic Nessie Amun's voice by recreating his mouth and vocal cords with a 3D printer. It allowed them to produce a single sound.